Welcome to Bloomers in the Garden. I'm Len Schroeder.
And I'm Julio Zamora.
And on today's show, we're going to talk about step-by-step planting a vegetable garden.
We're starting from the ground up, giving you details on soil preparation.
Then we're going to talk about what to feed your baby veggies.
We're going to explain how vegetables should be planted.
Finally, we're going to discuss common insects and how to control them.
So stay tuned, and we'll be back right after this short break.
Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call us on the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. And if we use your question on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. 1880, and we'll see you in the garden. Does your garden have planting insurance? It can now with Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma. It's the ultimate starter plant food. The secret is a special blend of natural organic plant food, beneficial microbes, and mycorrhizal fungi. The result? Plants grow faster, roots grow deeper, flowers and vegetables flourish. Best of all, every Espoma product is safe for people, pets, and the planet. Visit espoma.com for a retailer near you. Biotone Starter Plus from Espoma, a natural in the garden since 1929. The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds. We carry a flock of feeders like the Brome Squirrel Proof Feeder, which has a lifetime guarantee. Brome makes fantastic feeders for frustrating squirrels and feeding songbirds. Bloomer's Bird Sanctuary has a vast selection of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. We carry Lyric, Coles, C&S, Pine Tree Farms, and our own line called Bloomer's Blend. Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet contains premium black oil sunflower, peanut splits, millet, safflower, and tree nuts. It's sure to attract the most colorful songbirds to your yard. Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Visit us online at www.bloomers.com. When you come in, ask for Shirley Spurbeck, Bloomer's Wild Bird Specialist. Mention you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden Radio, and we'll give you $10 off a 20-pound bag of Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet Mix.
So, Len, here we are in the garden, starting with good soil preparation, right?
Oh, that's what it's all about.
That's right.
Like we said, from the ground up.
Yes, sir.
You know, your vegetables are going to produce based on how good your soil is now. Mm-hmm. So, first rule of thumb, what do you do first?
Well, first thing you do is clean up what you need to clean up and around the garden there.
What does that mean?
Well, that means a lot of things. First of all, there's probably a lot of weeds. If you're just starting out,
yeah,
you're going to have to clean it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking weeds, rocks.
Well, you got to. What you do is just get a shovel, dig it in the soil, and turn it over. Just turn it over and turn it over and turn it over. You want to go as far as renting a rototiller?
Oh, yes.
You can do that.
Like that.
Depends on how big. It is easy.
Yeah.
It is easy. Get one of those like Mantis rototillers.
Oh.
They're real little and they do a good job.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yep. So you turn it over. Okay. How deep do you want to turn it over?
I'd say at least 8 inches to 12 inches.
So, right. So about a foot.
About a foot.
So you're going to then, that's when you get out your metal rake and rake out any rocks or weeds, anything that's been in there, any debris. There's probably, you'll probably find some of those Wawa shopping bags in there.
Oh, brother.
But,
is that what happened?
Anyway.
Is that in your yard?
Hey, mine are up in the tree.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so you go ahead and you turned it over.
Right.
And you rake it all level.
Oh, yeah.
What's next?
Next, you have to have soil amendment, and that means bumper crop, soil amendment.
Yep. Bumper crop is the best.
Yes.
And again, it's an organic matter that there's so much in bumper crop. Okay, lobster shells, manure compost, earthworm castings, kelp meal, peat moss, aged bark, also inoculated with endo and ecto mycorrhiza fungi. All right.
Wow.
That's a mouthful.
It is.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Yes, it is.
Mike's kitchen sink might be.
It might be in there
the
somewhere.
small print. You know what else? It's
What's
also Omri approved.
Oh, okay.
It has a designation from Omri as being organic.
And what does that mean?
It is Omri is the institute where you go and you get organic gardeners, for instance, true organic gardeners,
Right.
that they want to see that seal from Omri.
Oh, okay. So it's it's like certification.
It is.
Okay.
It is. And it's Organic Materials Review Institute.
Wow.
International, nonprofit.
Oh,
so it's not like you pay them to do your thing. They have to.
That's great.
It's a nonprofit. Again, it's allowed for use in certified organic operations under USDA National Organics program.
That's great.
So you don't get by without being Omri listed.
Okay.
So
That's
bumper
good.
crops organic. We understand that. How much do we use? How much should we put? We get that question all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm asking you. Hey, co-host. You're the co-host.
Well, you're going to use.
Come on, Julio.
Well, you're going to use one bag, which is 2 cubic foot, right?
Right.
For every 10 square feet.
Okay.
So it'll be like 2 by 5.
Okay.
Around that area.
So the math is take your garden, take the length times width, and then divide by 10, and that will give you the number of bags you need.
Yeah, it's easy.
You want to apply a 2 to 3 inch layer of bumper crop. Is it a problem if I put more in?
Not really.
No, it isn't.
No.
More is better when it comes to that.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so all right. So bumper crop, I've got my compost going in. I have no rocks, no weeds, nothing.
Nothing in there.
And I have a nice layer. Well, kind of like making a cake where I've got the soil underneath.
Wow.
I've got the bumper crop on top of that. Then what do we do?
Next comes the fertilizer.
What kind of fertilizer?
We are going to use Espoma Garden Tone, our favorite.
Another organic.
Yes. Slow release.
Slow release. And that's the thing about organics. All organics are a slow release naturally. In a show that's coming up, we're going to talk about potting soil.
Okay.
Miracle-Gro potting soil has non-organic fertilizer in it.
Okay.
It only lasts for about 6 months. You're kind of buying a bag of peat moss.
Oh, okay.
10-10-10, 5-10-10, 5-10-5, all inorganic. So that means it is not organic, and it releases pretty quick, and then it's gone.
Vroom.
Right.
Quick.
Organics will stay in the soil and will work longer.
Oh, okay.
So
that's good to know.
You're going to use Garden Tone, Espoma Garden Tone.
Right.
For every 10 square foot, okay, you're going to use, what is it, 3/4 of a pound?
Right.
Okay. Or for every bag of bumper crop you've used, put in 3/4 of a pound for every bumper crop.
Right.
So if your garden is 10 by 10, that's 100 square foot.
Right.
You'd use a 7.5 pounds.
Wow.
Okay. This is me, and I'll be willing to take it on the chin. All right?
8 pounds.
It comes in 8 pounds. Just use the 8 pounds in 100 square foot.
There you go.
Okay, you're putting a little more in.
Yeah.
But it's organic, so it's not going to have the issues of burning. Now, if you were talking about a 10-10-10, 5-10-5, 5-5-10-5, what have you, that is chemical. That can burn.
That can burn. Oh, okay.
Okay?
So you have to be careful with them.
That's right. That's right.
Huh.
That's right.
Okay.
So all organic, no fillers.
No fillers.
Here's the other thing.
Go ahead, then.
Contains mycorrhiza.
Ooh, we like that one.
Mycorrhiza. Hey, all right, Julio, I'll put you on the spot. What does mycorrhiza do?
It functions inside the root systems, and it expands them. It gives them all the nutrients they need.
And it also, what it also does is it attaches to the root system.
Okay.
And it is that conduit that takes the elements in the soil to be able to, the plant, to absorb the nutrients from the soil up into the plant. So that fungi attaches to the root hair, and it's the thing that, like, for instance, you don't go and, like, I always like the color of like a organic, or I'm sorry, a Miracle-Gro. It's that pretty blue color. But the thing is, it's not blueberry, and the plant can't absorb it directly. It has to have some way of getting that fertilizer into the plant, and that's what mycorrhiza does.
So it absorbs it.
It absorbs it through that
hole.
It is like the extension cord from the fertilizer particle to the root system of the plant.
That is great.
Yep. And
I like that.
So the
mycorrhiza
that you've got working in the soil, that's what it does. You have to have it. It
brings in.
It is, 10 years, 15 years. I don't know about new. Mm-hmm. It's not new at this point, but it's essential.
Right. Can't go without it.
Don't American Express. Don't leave home without it.
There you go.
Okay. So
go ahead.
Now what do you do? I put my fertilizer on.
Right.
I've got my 8 pounds of espoma in my 100 square foot. I've got my 10 bags of bumper crop.
Okay.
What do I do?
Beautiful. Now you take your rake and you rake all that in and you mix it in.
Really?
No.
Sorry, Julio.
You turn it up. You have to turn that in. You
got ahead of yourself.
Oh, I did.
You did.
Oh.
You jumped the gun.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
Get that shovel back out there. You've got.
That's hard work, Len.
What you've got to do is you've got to turn it over again.
Oh,
but you're
time.
Nice soft soil, so you're introducing all of those things into your soil. If you're raking it in, you're only raking 2 inches.
That's it.
You want it all the way in for when that plant decides to grow. That root system's going to be a foot.
Yeah, it's like you were saying about the batter. You got to put that batter and you got to
mix it in.
Mix it in. Yes.
Mix it in.
Just like the batter.
All right. So when you go and you take that shovel and you turn it over just like you did originally, that soil is going to be nice and soft.
Yes. Beautiful.
It's going to be nice and soft.
Oh, my goodness.
And then you're going to go and you'll rake it level. Now you're really talking. Now you're really talking.
We're set to go, huh?
Yep.
Ooh,
yep. So you've got your garden tone in. You've got your bumper crop in.
Okay.
You've turned it over about 6 to 8 inches deep again with your shovel.
Right.
And you've raked it nice and smooth.
On the top.
And then what's next? Next segment, we're going to talk about planting veggies.
Look out.
All right, so you're ready to plant.
Yes, we are. We've got plenty of them here.
We're going to talk about that in our next segment coming up.
All right.
All right. Be back right after this.
Get a jump on lawn weed control this year with Weed Beater Ultra from Bonide. Bonide Weed Beater Ultra is the ultimate lawn weed control. It controls more than 200 hard-to-kill weeds right down to the roots with just one easy application. Weeds like dandelions, creeping Charlie, chickweed, and clover are no match. Weed Beater Ultra is safe for lawns, and you will see results in as little as 24 hours, unlike other brands that require temperatures of 65 degrees or higher to work. Weed Beater Ultra works fast in temperatures as low as 45 degrees. It can be applied from early spring to late fall, and reseeding can be done as soon as 2 weeks after application. Bonide products are family made in America. Find Weed Beater Ultra at these fine retailers.
Animals and Gardens Unlimited, New Egypt, New Jersey. Berlin Agway, Berlin, New Jersey. Spots Hardware, Medford, New Jersey. Bloomers in the Garden is an hour-long gardening radio program that airs to over 6 million residents throughout the Delaware Valley. From Allentown to Wilmington, from the Main Line to the Jersey Shore, Bloomers in the Garden can be heard twice each Saturday morning, first at 8 a.m. on 860 WWDB and again at 9 on 610 a.m. ESPN Radio. Each episode of Bloomers in the Garden will be broadcast on Bloomers' Facebook page and available as a podcast on bloomersinthegarden.com. Bloomers in the Garden is adding sponsors. Share your message to our large, diverse group of listeners. Commercials and segment sponsorships are available at incredibly affordable prices. Let Bloomers in the Garden get your message out to one of the largest and most diverse populations in the country. If you're interested in joining us in the garden, please visit bloomersinthegarden.com or email len@bloomers.com. Spring has sprung, and it's time to visit Bloomer's Home and Garden Center. Bring us a soil sample, and we'll test your soil's pH free. Heck, bring us a water sample from your pond, too, and we'll test that for ammonia and other critical levels. Did you know that Bloomer's has a pond department? We have all of the water treatments, fish, and plants to keep your pond looking glorious year-round. Are you looking for that 4-step lawn program? Bloomers carries Scott's, Jonathan Green, Bonide, and Espoma's Organic Step program. Need to seed? Bloomers has its own blend of seed called Township Turf. It's just the right balance of rye, fescue, and bluegrass to give you a spectacular lawn. It's also perfect for repairing bare spots and matches extraordinarily well to sodded lawns. Don't forget the garden. Bloomers carries bumper crop soil amendment and all the fertilizers a garden could need, both organic and inorganic. The best vegetables start as seedlings from Bloomers. Come visit those who know the friendly folks at Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey, just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. For directions and information, visit www.bloomers.com. That's www.bloomers.com. And we'll see you in the garden. Well, we're back, and our garden is all ready to be planted.
Yes, it
right?
is. Yes.
So we've got our bumper crop in. We've got our garden tone. It's all turned back into the soil, about 8 inches deep, and it's all nice and level.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Ready to roll.
So let's talk most popular vegetable, bar none.
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
When you plant a tomato plant, some people think that they can be planted deep, and they're kind of right. But if you're looking on YouTube, I have a tall tomato plant. It's about 15 inches tall that you can take on the really tall plants. And sometimes you'll even see it where down along the base, there'll be like these little bumps, these little bite bumps. They almost look like pimples, but what they are is actually roots that are starting to come out.
Wow.
So on a tall plant, and this is mostly indeterminate types of tomatoes. Indeterminate means?
Yes. You're going to last for the whole season. You're going to get quite a bit of tomatoes.
Nonstop growing. So what you'll do is you'll peel off to the second or third leaf cluster.
Nice.
And then you'll plant it up to that leaf. So you're going to that whole section, that whole stem
goes into the ground.
Will form a root.
Wow.
Now, if you have taller tomatoes, like we sell tomatoes in like 1 gallon pots, they're big. They're big, and they're tall. They're 2 feet tall or more.
Wow.
That you'll bend the root and gently bend the plant upright.
Wow.
And you're going to plant it in the row so it's along the row. You don't want to plant it where it's crossing the row. You want to plant it in line.
Line with the row.
Yep. That, if you go and hoe your weeds, again, organic gardeners, they may cut the stem of their plant inadvertently if they do it across the row. So do it in line with the row.
Now, what does that do?
What it does is that entire thing now, boom, it's forming roots.
Oh,
it's forming
the
roots.
Entire plant, wow.
And anywhere that stem goes in the ground, it's going to form roots.
Wow.
So it gets it off to a bigger start. It's putting nutrients into the plant, and it's just going to grow faster. It's going to be stronger. Now, on the farm, we used to grow tomatoes in cold frames. Now, I don't know if anybody back there in the farming community, they'll know what a cold frame is. We actually took window sash. It was a 4-foot window sash, and that it would cover these cold frames that we would make, and they'd be 50 foot long.
Wow.
And the plants would be about 2 inches apart. We used to sell these plants bare root for $0.25 apiece.
That's it?
We would dig them out of the soil and sell them bare root. We'd wrap wet peat moss in newspaper, wrap them up, and sell them to people.
Wow.
Thousands.
No kidding. You don't see that anymore.
No. I'm not sure if the farm still does it or not. But,
about that.
But with that, the tomato plants were 18, sometimes at the end, they were 24 inches deep, and you had to plant that stem in the soil.
Wow.
And all that spot where it's gonna go. It's gonna grow roots on that.
Ooh.
Now that doesn't mean that all vegetables do that.
Okay.
Squash, pumpkins, cucumbers, they all look to be mounded up and planted on a little bit of a berm. And they're easy to grow from seed.
Oh yeah.
And you can grow them from seed, but the problem is one seed packet, you put 3 seeds to a hole, but you still, all of a sudden, you've got the same type of cucumber, same type of squash, and your garden's only so big, so you don't get the fun of doing different plants.
Yeah.
So if you have a big garden, go with seed. If you have a small garden, just get plants, because then you can have all different types of cucumbers. You can have straight eights, you can have market more, you can have the little pickling cucumbers, you can have the long seedless, burpless cucumbers, all in your one garden.
That's great.
But if you've got packs of seeds, all of a sudden you feel guilty because you're throwing seed away, and nobody really likes to do that.
Nope.
So
you don't want to do that.
No, and it's fun. And make sure you leave the tag that the plant came with the plant, so you know it's like, hey, that was that tomato, that was that Amish paste Roma tomato style. So it was a plum tomato that I put in there, and that was the one I want to grow that one next year. Or the other case, I don't like it. I don't want them. I'm never growing those white cucumbers anymore. They burned in the sun and rotted, so I don't like them. So some things like bush beans, for instance, they should be grown from seed.
Oh, yeah?
They grow so fast, and that they're up out of the ground. A week, they're starting to germinate.
That's quick.
And what you should do is save a spot so that you rotate your crops. Do a section of beans, but wait a couple of weeks. Do another section of beans, because you don't want to harvest everything at the same time. So you want to have them staggered, and nobody wants to, like, all of a sudden, no more beans. I'm sick of beans. I've got beans coming out my ears. So that's something that you could do. Easy to be germinated, and also in plants, there's not many varieties. It's basically a bush bean. It's not. You're not going to get a lot of variety from plants. Not like tomatoes and cucumbers and squash. Right.
Now the bush beans, do you need some room for that?
They're actually pretty good.
Pretty good.
I mean, I always think it would be nice to have a border around your garden of just bush beans.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I
don't know. That's the landscape part of it in me. It's it creates a little bed and a little edge, and it looks kind of nice.
Good.
So,
I like that, Len.
Anybody consider that? Yeah. Let us know on the hotline if you tried it and how it worked out.
We're always here to get for you.
Yep, but again, stagger your planting. And again, I'd also put corn in by seed.
Oh, okay.
Corn plants, quite frankly, are stupid. They come up, it's grass, it comes up in a week, and there's only a couple of varieties. Wow. You may get a yellow, you may get a bicolor, and you may get a white, but that's it. When you go from your seed packets, a seed packet's a couple bucks, maybe less. You can pick the variety that you want. You could go super sweet. You could go... there's so many different varieties of corn that you can do different varieties, but you got to make sure that when you're going and putting that corn in, that you're picking the spot so it doesn't shade your garden.
Oh, yeah, because you get too tall.
Yeah, they can get 6 to 8 feet tall.
Wow.
And any listeners of Bloomers in the Garden, they're going to have it at least 8 foot, because they're going to have the healthiest garden they've ever had in their lives.
That's right.
So, again, plant it where it's not going to shade the rest of your garden. Okay.
That's good to know there, Len.
Yeah. Peppers and eggplant. Easy to plant. No special. You have to plant them deep or anything like that.
Put it in.
Use them from plants. Try it. I honestly, there's so many varieties of peppers. Like in the studio here, if you're looking on YouTube, like we have a few different varieties. The one in my hand right here is Hansel. Teardrop eggplant.
Wow.
There is Ichabod eggplant. Oh, my gosh. We are selling more of that than we are regular eggplant these days.
Now, are they a little thinner? Or are they little?
Yes, a little thinner. Okay. There's another variety. Do you have it over on your side there? Is there a potted eggplant over there besides the one that I have here? It's pretty amazing, just the different styles of eggplant. Yep. There's that one called Fingers, where it's small. It almost looks like a cluster of bananas.
I never saw that.
That's another type of eggplant. And peppers, oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
But the amount of different peppers we have is crazy. Just crazy. Plant it just a little bit deeper than the soil line that it's at, that you want to keep it secure. And again, have some fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some of the plants, if you're a traditionalist, go ahead and plant bell peppers, plant some jalapenos.
Yeah.
If you're a little bit on the wild side, try the holy moly.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that is going to be hot. And then there's so many different hot peppers. There's Thai dragon. Say ouch.
Ooh.
It is very, very hot. Fiery hot.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You could
Be careful.
go ahead. Go ahead.
get a
Have the
glass of
Maalox
water.
ready.
There you go.
But again, try different things.
There you go.
And it's best to do eggplant and peppers from plants, not from seed.
Not from seeds.
Personal opinion. I don't want to argue, but I'm right. Anyway.
There you go, lad.
All right, we're going to be taking a break. Again, you got your soil, you've got your plants planted.
Wow.
Now what? What's next?
Ooh.
Time to feed.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back after this message.
Stay tuned for the Bloomers Garden Minute. The Garden Minute is brought to you by Bloomers in the Garden, Philadelphia Garden Radio. Find us on the radio dial or on the web at bloomers.com.
This is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Planting time is really May 15th for most of your tender vegetables. Some people like to get a jump on things, but really waiting may be better than jumping in too early. Cold rain, cold soil, the roots of your tender vegetables don't like that. The wind that comes during these last weeks of April and beginning of May can put your plants at risk. Tender vegetables like peppers and tomatoes should probably be waited until that soil has warmed up to the point where we talk about May 15th being the frost-free date. That's the time to get started. So you can plant at your own risk, but I suggest waiting until that soil is warm enough closer to Mother's Day, May 15th.
Today's Garden Minute was brought to you by Bloomers in the Garden, Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Also brought to you by VPG, the Fertilome people.
Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix with EcoPeat is the perfect ready-to-use potting mix for all your succulents. Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix is a blend of sphagnum peat moss, perlite, and EcoPeat. EcoPeat is a natural wood fiber from peat bogs. When added to Fertilome peat moss, it produces a superior professional substrate with an exceptional ratio of air porosity and water holding capacity. Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix will ensure maximum drainage with ideal water retention. It's simply the best succulent mix on the market. Ask for Fertilome by name at your local garden center. Available at Daniel's Garden Center, Sumneytown Pike, Harleysville, Pennsylvania. Gasper's Home and Garden, 316 Tanyard Road, Richboro, PA. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call us on the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. And if we use your question on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden.
All right, now we're back.
Here
We're
I am.
going to see what the vegetables need to be staked.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
All right, so tomatoes,
Tomatoes, yeah.
indeterminate.
Indeterminate, yeah.
How tall do indeterminate tomatoes get?
They get 8 feet at least.
So it's not determined.
No, they're not
So
determined.
it's indeterminate. And there's the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Determinate are the ones that are bush that will stay compact, but once they're done, they get to a certain height, they produce their fruit, then they're done.
Done. Mm-hmm. That's it.
If you have limited room, maybe. If you have in containers,
Containers are
maybe.
great. Yeah.
But the others need to get, and a majority of all varieties are indeterminate.
Right.
So that, again, tall plants, how tall can they get? 8 foot, you said?
At least 8.
So you've got to stake them somehow,
Oh, yeah.
unless you have the room to allow them to sprawl all over the ground, which, you know, when we grew them in the field, that's what we did. But it was hard to pick. Don't step on them. You break the vines.
You got to watch.
If you stake them, get good stakes or use tomato cages.
Right. That's what I use.
Did you use it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get good tomato cages?
Oh, yes, I did.
There you go. Don't waste your money on cheap, inexpensive, 99-cent tomato
I
cages.
still have mine from 5 years ago.
There you go. Texas tomato cages?
Yep.
Do you get that?
Yeah. the round
There you
ones.
go.
The one that they fold up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're great.
All right. The cheaper tomato cages are going to fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
The wind is going to blow the entire plant off. I've had customers come in and say, "Yeah, I have them," and that they broke off. The actual plants have snapped at the base because the weight of the plant created a sail, and all of a sudden, crack. You know, it was like they were in the middle of the ocean, and it broke the stem of the tomato plant. And just when they thought they were going to have anything growing, it's dead.
Not good.
So you can use stakes, but use good hardwood stakes and get something tall, because consider looping them back around. So if you use, say, an 8-foot stake, you're going to pound it in the ground 18 inches, maybe 2 foot for those of you that are more aggressive, and that it's got to hold that weight. Consider bending that stem, and if you look on YouTube, I'm holding my hand like I'm actually doing it, and bend it down around, back down to the ground, and kind of loop it back up.
Wow.
Yeah. So then that way you're going to get the length of that tomato back where you can control it, rather than going up and up, and you need a 14-foot step ladder to be able to pick your tomatoes. You'll be able to stake them up and then gently make that bend so that they don't crack. So you got to kind of finesse it. Yep.
Play with it.
Yep. Okay. Peppers, an eggplant, do we need to stake them?
No.
That's right.
No.
Self-supporting.
Yes.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
Very nice. How about cucumbers?
I would stake them.
Okay, so you can stake them or have them on a trellis. Right? So and have them grow on something. Now, of course, that we talked about bush beans, but there are also peas and beans that are climbers that they'll have to be some type of trellis. Always works well.
Now, this is also good for air circulation then? Is that another thing?
Yes. Good point. Good point. Because the problem is you get diseases and things that will get into your plants and therefore have a problem later on, like powdery mildew and some of the other varieties that vegetables get. And then you enter a question, do I spray or do I not spray, or do I just kind of your plants they do better with air circulation through the plant. And staking is going to be better for them.
There you go.
Yep. Melons can also go on a trellis, by the way. Squash, though, are best planted on mounds, depending on the variety. If it is a climbing variety, but most are going to be best, like zucchini and things like that, if they're on the ground. They're on the ground. So there is something that you need to do now that you have. Your plants are staked now. You have your plants planted. They're baby plants. But now what do? I'm all done. I'm looking at my garden, and I'm pretty impressed.
You are.
That's going to be the next segment. So we've got the soil's prepared. We planted. We put our stakes in.
Oh, wow.
Now we've got our next step. We'll talk about that right after this message.
Introducing Miracle-Gro's next big thing, Performance Organics. Finally, organics that work. Tested and refined by plant scientists for twice the results. Guaranteed. Don't grow a snack. Grow a feast. Don't grow a flower. Grow $1 million view. This new organic collection of soil and plant food is what you've always wanted. No compromise. Just results. Guaranteed. Miracle-Gro Performance Organics.
Do you want a picture-perfect lawn? Are broadleaf weeds like dandelions, clover, or dollarweed taking over your lawn? Bonide has your weed problem solved. Bonide's fast-acting weed and feed uses a very effective 4-way weed killer that works through the roots and shoots of your lawn. Bonide's weed and feed will eliminate tough-to-kill broadleaf and grassy weeds like onion grass, dollarweed, and dandelions. These weeds are no match for Bonide's weed and feed. Bonide's weed and feed kills over 200 hard-to-kill broadleaf weeds while giving your lawn a gentle 8 to 10 week feeding. Would you like to gently feed your lawn without any weed killers? Bonide can help you with that as well. Use Bonide's premium lawn food with Vital X to feed your lawn for up to 8 to 10 weeks. The additional Vital X micronutrients helps your lawn maintain that healthy dark green color. So don't wait to get that picture-perfect lawn. Stop and purchase some of Bonide's DuraTurf lawn products today. Bonide products are family-made in America. Find Bonide's DuraTurf lawn products at these fine retailers.
Feeney's Feasterville, PA. Dublin Agway, Dublin, PA. Magnolia Gardens, Magnolia, New Jersey. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call us on the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. And if we use your question on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Well, we are back, Julio.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Back.
So, we have our plants planted. Our seedlings are ready to go again.
They're ready.
But you're not done.
No, we're not.
Sorry. You need to feed again.
Wow.
All right. So, what we did is we planted our seedlings based on what variety we've chosen, how far apart they need to be.
Right.
But go get out that garden tone. Now, if we use that 8-pound bag,
Gotta get another one.
you got to get another one.
That's right.
Or just get the larger size to begin with.
That's right.
Because you're going to use a granular fertilizer every month until they stop producing. So you're going to go until probably the middle of August.
4 months.
Yep. Every month putting down fertilizer. And here's what you do. Is you take a handful of fertilizer and you circle each seedling. Each seedling. And that's going to feed that plant. Now, you're going to say, well, we're putting it down twice, but we're not. The fertilizer that we put down and we turned over in the soil, that's for later on. That's kind of in storage for when the plant's roots, the seedling's roots, get to it. Right now, there's only a little bit, and it's spread out through the whole garden. But what you're going to do now is with that handful that you put as a circle around each seedling, now that's going to be immediately available to that plant.
Wow.
And again, it's organic, so it's going to break down a little bit, but it's still the garden tone that we recommend. It still works quickly, not like a 5-10-5 or 10-10-10. That works quick and is gone. So, a couple of good rains, it's where to go. It's gone. But that's the one thing. Now, how do you put down the garden tone if I put seeds in? Like if I did a row of beans, seeds.
Right.
So what should I do?
You would put it all the way across, okay?
So a
in a
length,
linear way.
So a little side dressing of the seed after it's sprouted, probably about 10 days or so after it's sprouted, because you want the plants to be mature enough. Plus, you don't want to disturb them by walking through the garden.
Yeah.
So, again, you're going to do another application. Now, all we use a granular fertilizer?
No, not all the time.
No?
No.
So what do we do next?
You can use a soluble.
Water soluble.
Water soluble. Yeah.
Like, what should we use?
Well, I like Jack's Classics.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It's my favorite.
They've been around since 1947.
It's been a long time. And it's a family-owned company.
Family-owned, yeah.
Where we've talked about Peters Professional, which was the original fertilizer that in the horticulture industry that was used.
Right.
2020.
Wow.
And that we're still using 2020. We actually, we'll talk about it next week about the fertilizer that we use on all of our plants.
Yeah.
And it's Jack's.
Yeah.
But Miracle Grow has one that is for tomatoes, which is good.
Yeah, it's fine.
And everything is a little bit lower in nitrogen because you don't want to grow a big plant. You want to grow flowers. Why do I want to go flowers?
Because that's what we want.
Flowers.
We want the flowers, yes.
All right.
So they can pollinate and get the fruits.
That's right. Everywhere there's a flower is where there's going to be a fruit or a squash or a pepper.
Yeah.
And so you can use a bloom booster fertilizer.
Wow.
Because just like, it's going to be a flower wherever that flower is, it's going to be pollinated. And then that pollination happens, the petals drop off, and then all of a sudden it begins to form that fruit.
Oh, that's what we want.
That's it. The birds and the bees and the coconut trees. With that, again, it's all about the flowers. The flowers are the start, and the flower. Every plant on this planet, what it wants to do is get it's flower pollinated.
Yep.
Then it produces a fruit. Be fruitful and multiply.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
same type of thing. Old story.
That's right.
And so that's what you want to do is make sure that you're using a type of fertilizer that is going to encourage that. A bloom booster, you'll notice that the nitrogen levels in the bloom booster fertilizer is lower. It's not about the nitrogen. You want lower nitrogen. I don't care how big the plant gets. I care how many flowers it produces. Right. That's what it's about.
That's great.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep. And listen, use that liquid water-soluble fertilizer every 2 weeks, okay? And you want to use it when it's the plants are a little bit dry because it's immediately available to the plant.
Oh, okay.
So like the other fertilizer, the granular fertilizer that you put down once a month, that has to break down a little bit before it's available to the plant. Right, so it's not all available. Yeah. Where the liquid water-soluble fertilizer is ready. It's ready to go.
Okay.
Yep. So every 2 weeks, water-soluble fertilizer. You will have the greenest, healthiest plants. You will have more production, and it will be more resistant to insects and diseases because those plants are going to be that much healthier.
Boy, no wonder my plants aren't as good as they should have been.
Yeah, listen, this is a rule of thumb at Bloomers. It's always a 1-2 punch. Yeah, granular and water soluble.
Yeah, I only use one. I don't know why.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Look, you sound depressed. You have been missing the boat, my friend.
I know I have.
This year, okay? Make sure that you're doing both.
Yeah, I should.
And that let's talk about the results that you get on the show.
I will.
In another, say, month from now.
Right. Yeah.
1-2 punch.
1-2
granule
punch. I like that.
And liquid. Granule and liquid. So you have a fast release in the liquid and a slow release in the granule.
So the granule is once a month, right?
Yep.
And then the other one is
every 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Every 2 weeks.
Right.
Don't skip on this step. You will have the healthiest plants, whether it's a shrub, whether it's a flowering shrub, whether it's roses. Right. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Use a granule and a liquid.
There you go. I'm going to
water soluble every 2 weeks and use a granule once a month. Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes,
you heard it here first.
Yep.
You heard it here first. All right. So,
all right.
Things are getting going.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What's next?
Next is going to be seedlings you should apply.
Yeah. So we've got right after this.
Yeah.
You're going to hear about more to do in your garden. We've got some issues that we have to make sure that we're taking care of. Yep. There's bugs among us.
Oh, boy. Look out.
All right. We're back after this. The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds. We carry a flock of feeders like the Brome Squirrel Proof Feeder, which has a lifetime guarantee. Brome makes fantastic feeders for frustrating squirrels and feeding songbirds. Bloomer's Bird Sanctuary has a vast selection of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. We carry Lyric, Coles, C&S, Pine Tree Farms, and our own line called Bloomer's Blend. Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet contains premium black oil sunflower, peanut splits, millet, safflower, and tree nuts. It's sure to attract the most colorful songbirds to your yard. Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey. Visit us online at www.bloomers.com. When you come in, ask for Shirley Spurbeck, Bloomer's Wild Bird Specialist. Mention you heard it on Bloomers in the Garden Radio, and we'll give you $10 off a 20-pound bag of Bloomer's Blend Songbird Magnet Mix.
Tired of pale green, weedy results from four-step lawn programs? That's because they don't do anything for the soil. The New American Lawn four-step program feeds the lawn and the soil. Magical Plus, a unique soil food that adjusts soil pH, loosens hard soil, and feeds soil microbes, is the key difference. Without the right soil conditions, you'll never enjoy a great lawn. Competitive programs simply don't match up. So feed your lawn and your soil with the New American Lawn 4-Step Program by Jonathan Green.
Jonathan Green products can be found at these fine stores: Action Hardware, Wilmington, Delaware; Hockessin Hardware, Hockessin, Delaware; Gasper's Garden Center, Richboro, Pennsylvania;
Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call us on the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. And if we use your question on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Julio, we're back.
Yes, we are.
We've got our garden going. It's looking great.
I'll tell you what, I see it.
We're being invaded.
Oh, yes,
we
are.
have problems. The insects want to eat our plants. They want to stop our vegetables from growing because they're hungry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Eat.
Go to somebody else's garden.
That's right. Next door.
So first thing we're going to talk about is squash vine borer.
Ooh, boy. Sounds pretty bad.
Cucumbers, melons, all types of melons, all types of squash. Right. And what it'll do is it'll go and it'll lay that egg. Okay, and first of all, when they begin to flower, there's these red and black moths, and they lay these brown eggs, and on the stems near the base. And when the caterpillars hatch, they go and they start boring into the stems, and they feed in those stems for about a month, and then all of a sudden your vines start collapsing. Because the little pupa stage is in that tunneling in that plant, and you're all of a sudden look like what happened. It's like it looks like a flat tire, or just whoop. And it's because of the squash vine borer.
Boy,
yeah, and it starts out, and again, you can't go and get to it when it's inside their plant. You can spray all you want.
They're in there.
It's stuck. It's in there because most of our sprays are a contact spray.
Right.
And it doesn't matter, organic or inorganic. They're contact sprays. So you have to hit the insect to kill it. And we need to control it before it lays those eggs.
Oh, boy.
So that means that you're going to need to start in June. And you're going to need to use, like, for instance, pyrethrin.
Pyrethrin, yes.
That's, again, bonide garden dust is a pyrethrin. It stays around for a long time. And it, again, it is organic, but it will stay in that it will work within the plant, and it will not – it'll kill the insect, but you need to apply it often. Do a couple of applications. Don't just do once and think you've got it under control, because what happens is that every insect has its stage. You're going to start when the adults are laying their eggs, but what happens is then on other people's plants, they become adults and go around the neighborhood and lay eggs. So you have a couple of generations.
Wow.
So really in June, you want to start, late May even, you want to start using it. And use it throughout every couple of weeks. If you just apply that dust, you'll be able to control them. Without it, you will have your squash vines just collapsing and disappearing. That is not good.
Oh, no,
that is not good.
Now, if you see one collapsing and you kind of know what it is, can you go in there manually and get these out?
You can try. What happens is that inside the stem is a little pupa. It's like a little worm in there, and it hasn't eaten its way out yet. And that it's like a guy in a tunnel, just going away and eating everything from the inside.
Right.
You can slit. And again, let your local garden center explain how to do this. I'll do it quickly now, but I want you to go and talk to your local garden center if you're going to try this. You have to make a slit, and you basically are attacking it by going after it inside the stem.
Right. Huh. It's like a doctor.
Pretty much. But it's too late.
Yeah.
It's starting its damage. Start using the organic dust. Again, it's a pyrethrin.
Yep.
Pyrethrins are a natural insecticide. They're produced by chrysanthemum plants. It is all organic. You can use an inorganic. Remember malathion? Malathion, it stinks.
Yeah,
stinks as in not It's good.
It's good, yeah,
but it smells.
It smells.
That is inorganic. Again, you're going to have to make 3 applications about 7 to 10 days apart. But you can apply it up to the day of harvest, but go with the garden dust.
Yeah, it's better.
Go with the garden dust. Another one I hate, Colorado potato beetles. I hate them.
Wow.
We used to have to go in the field and pick them off, the actual eggs. The eggs look like they're orange. Oof. They're actually kind of pretty. They're orange, and they're stuck to the bottom leaves, and you have to go, and you need to spray. Use Captain Jack's.
Captain Jack's.
So it goes through different phases. Wow. So it's going to be, first it's that orange egg, then it turns into this, like, almost looks like Jell-O. Do you ever see the Star Wars movies? Looks like a miniature Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it is. So miniature Jabba the Hutt starts feeding on those leaves, and then it turns into this pretty beetle that has stripes on tan and black striped. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is pretty.
But not when it's eating your tomatoes, and all of a sudden you have a skeleton. Your plant can't produce food if something is eating the leaves. Remember, it produces food by the leaves, by the quality of the leaves. It's producing food to produce your fruit. So Captain Jack's is a great product, organic. Use that.
Yeah, it's the best.
There are other things that you can use, but we'd recommend Captain Jack's.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
Cabbage looper. Do you know what cabbage looper is?
I haven't seen that one around.
You know those pretty white butterflies you see fluttering around?
Yes.
Oh, they're so cute. They have little dots on the wings.
Yes.
Kill them.
Oh, brother.
That's a cabbage looper laying eggs on your vegetables.
Oh, boy.
That little pretty white butterfly
is not
get
good.
it out of your garden.
There you go.
Because what it'll do is it'll lay this egg, and then it'll go and create a caterpillar that has legs in the front. You ever see that where it looks like an inchworm kind of?
Yes.
That's it. What a pretty white butterfly.
That is nice.
Yeah, no, it isn't. We want to kill it.
There you go.
All right, because what will happen is that will go and eat all your cole crops, your lettuce, celery, tomatoes, and all your vegetables and flowers. And it will go and it will eat holes in your leaves. And again, it's the leaves where the food is produced. Photosynthesis occurs within the leaves, okay, and feeds the rest of the plant.
How crucial.
If the leaves are being eaten by an insect, the quality of everything is going downhill. You can use different products. You can use again spinosad. Which is Captain Jack's. That's the active ingredient.
Right.
That will work, but you've got to get it early when it's in that soft-bodied stage. They're just awful.
Yeah,
they're awful.
I can tell.
Then there's blossom end rot. Blossom end rot
not good.
is not an insect or a disease. Blossom end rot is that when you have a tomato and it has that thing on the bottom of the tomato, it looks like a scab.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Ew.
Yeah. Terrible.
And that is
calcium deficiency. Yep.
You didn't put down your fertilizer.
No.
Right?
That's right.
Or you didn't get your soil checked, right?
Yes, you didn't.
What do you use?
Magical Plus.
Magical Plus.
It's the best.
Get your soil tested.
Yes.
Bloomers will test your soil for free. We'll test your pond water for free.
Yeah.
Just come in, bring a soil sample. We will test your soil. If you're too far away, go to your local garden center, talk to them, but just get it done. Get it done. Because then you won't have issues like blossom end rot.
Yes.
Ugh. Anyway.
No good.
Anyway. Powdery mildew.
Oh, boy.
Powdery mildew is that one that it looks like there's a coating on the leaf that
white.
looks like it's all of a sudden your leaf looks like it's been dusted.
Yeah, dusty.
And it doesn't happen necessarily when things are wet.
Yeah.
It'll happen when it's dry.
How about that? Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Warm days, right?
Yep. And what to do is that there are sprays that you can use to control it. Neem oil will help repel it. That's organic. Okay. I suggest using some of the other things. A garden dust will help. You're going to have to use a copper fungicide. That will work. But again, you got to clean it, catch it early. If it's too late, again, what produces the food? The sun going into the leaf, right?
Yes.
If it has a coating of the powdery mildew on the leaf, that plant is weakened. and it's almost too late because it works so fast.
Boy.
You have to act fast. Don't wait, because if the plant is dying because it can't produce any food, you may put down a control. That control may take too long to actually work.
Oh, okay. So you got to be vigilant. You got to be looking at this plant all the time.
Good word.
Yep.
Say that word again.
Vigilant.
That's right. Insects and disease. Get them identified. Get it taken care of quick, so that your vegetables stay strong and healthy.
There you go.
That's it.
So you're looking at your plants.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. We've got a commercial break.
There you go.
We'll be right back after that.
Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden.
Spring has sprung, and it's time to visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bring us a soil sample, and we'll test your soil's pH free. Heck, bring us a water sample from your pond, too, and we'll test that for ammonia and other critical levels. Did you know that Bloomers has a pond department? We have all of the water treatments, fish, and plants to keep your pond looking glorious year-round. Are you looking for that 4-step lawn program? Bloomers carries Scott's, Jonathan Green, Bonide, and Espoma's Organic Step program. Need to seed? Bloomers has its own blend of seed called Township Turf. It's just the right balance of rye, fescue, and bluegrass to give you a spectacular lawn. It's also perfect for repairing bare spots and matches extraordinarily well to sodded lawns. Don't forget the garden. Bloomers carries bumper crop soil amendment and all the fertilizers a garden could need, both organic and inorganic. The best vegetables start as seedlings from Bloomers. Come visit those who know the friendly folks at Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County, New Jersey, just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. For directions and information, visit www.bloomers.com. That's www.bloomers.com. And we'll see you in the garden.
See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
So we're going to call the hotline, folks. So if you have any questions, just let us know, and we are here for you. Any questions about your vegetables, your garden, anything, we are here for you.
Call the hotline, leave a message. We'll get back to you. Think about it. We've planted a whole entire garden in an hour.
Wow.
Pretty fast.
Pretty quick.
If you got questions, call the hotline. We will be there, like Julio said, for you. We'll see you in the garden.
See you in the garden.
Bloomers in the Garden is an hour-long gardening radio program that airs to over 6 million residents throughout the Delaware Valley. From Allentown to Wilmington, from the Main Line to the Jersey Shore, Bloomers in the Garden can be heard twice each Saturday morning, first at 8 a.m., on 860 WWDB, and again at 9 on 610 AM ESPN Radio. Each episode of Bloomers in the Garden will be broadcast on Bloomers' Facebook page and available as a podcast on bloomersinthegarden.com. Bloomers in the Garden is adding sponsors. Share your message to our large, diverse group of listeners. Commercials and segment sponsorships are available at incredibly affordable prices. Let Bloomers in the Garden get your message out to one of the largest and most diverse populations in the country. If you're interested in joining us in the garden, please visit bloomersinthegarden.com or email len@bloomers.com.